Wow. I mean, right from the get-go, Nietzsche's Thus Spake Zarathustra just hits you with this incredible image. It's not just a book, it's a philosophical earthquake. And that one sentence, it's the whole thing in a nutshell. This terrifying, but also kind of exhilarating idea that we, humanity, we're not the final product. We're just a dangerous crossing towards something more. So, welcome to our deep dive into Nietzsche's Thus Spake Zarathustra. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This book is famously dense, right? It's poetic, it's challenging, but that's exactly why we're here. We're going to break it all down and give you a clear map to its biggest ideas. The goal is to help you navigate that abyss we just talked about and really see the world through Zarathustra's eyes. So, let's get into it. All right, here's our game plan. We're going to start with a prophet's warning. What's the big problem? Then we'll look at the spirit's metamorphoses, the journey to fix it. After that, we'll talk about the goal, the Superman, what powers that journey, the will to power. And finally, we'll hit the ultimate test. It's the path Zarathustra lays out for us. Okay, first up, a prophet's warning. To really get what Zarathustra is all about, you have to picture this. He's been up on a mountain for 10 years, just thinking, right? And when he finally comes down, he's not met with cheering crowds hungry for wisdom. Nope. He finds a world that has totally lost its way. And this is his huge, famous, and honestly, super misunderstood declaration. God is dead. Now, hold on. He's not saying this with a party popper, you know? It's not a celebration. It's a diagnosis. He's basically saying that the entire foundation of Western culture, everything that gave us our morality, our meaning, our purpose, that belief in a divine plan, it's gone. It's crumbled. And in its place is just a huge, terrifying void. So what happens when there's a vacuum like that? What rushes in to fill it? Well, Zarathustra warns us about this really scary possibility. He calls it the last man. And listen, this isn't some comic book villain. It's way, way worse. The last man is the ultimate creature of comfort. Just look at this comparison here. This is someone who only wants to be safe and secure. They want their little pleasure for the day and their little pleasure for the night. And that's it. Think about a society that's just obsessed with convenience, where any real struggle is seen as a bad thing. The last man doesn't dream big, doesn't even despise himself for being so small. He is the absolute dead end for humanity, just pure, sad complacency. And this quote just nails it. What is love? What is creation? What is longing? What is a star? So asketh the last man, and blinketh. He just blinks. He looks at all the huge, passionate things that make life worth living, the stuff that gives us fire, and he just doesn't get it. For him, life's whole purpose is just to be comfy. And in that world, the earth has become so small. This is the exact fate Zarathustra is trying to warn us away from. So the big question is, how do we avoid becoming that? How do we avoid becoming the last man? Well, Nietzsche lays out a path, and it's not for society as a whole. It's for you, for the individual spirit. It's this incredible psychological transformation in 3 stages. Let's get into it. Okay, so first, your spirit has to become a camel. Think about it. A camel is a load-bearing animal. It kneels down to take on the heaviest weights. Duty, tradition, all the rules. It carries the weight of thou shalt. But once it's proven its strength, out in the lonely desert, it transforms into a lion. And what does a lion do? It attacks. The lion confronts this giant dragon called thou shalt and just roars back, I will. The lion's whole job is to say no to the old ways, to clear the ground. But even a lion can't build something new. For that, you need one last change. The spirit has to become a child. A child is all about innocence, a fresh start, a holy yes to life. Only the child has that pure creative spark to build a whole new world with its own values. All right, so this whole journey, from camel to lion to child, it's all leading somewhere. It's leading to the goal. And this is probably Nietzsche's most famous and, most controversial idea, the Übermensch, or as it's often translated, the Superman. And let's just get this out of the way right now. We are not talking about a guy in a cape who can fly. Not even close. Yeah, it's so important we get this right. The Superman, or Übermensch, isn't some new species, and it's definitely not some kind of political tyrant. It's a state of being. It's a goal for all of us to strive for. The Superman is the person who has actually gone through those 3 transformations we just talked about. This is someone who doesn't need to look to heaven or some afterlife for meaning. No, they create their own values, their own meaning, right here on Earth. They are the ones who have stared into that abyss of meaninglessness and have come out the other side, ready to build. And Zarathustra says it so clearly. I teach you the Superman. Man is something that is to be surpassed. That's the whole point. Humanity, as we are right now, isn't the final destination. We're a bridge, something to be crossed, something to be overcome. And the Superman, that's what's on the other side. That's what gives this whole dangerous crossing a purpose. That is the meaning of the Earth. Okay, but what's the fuel for this engine? What's actually driving this whole process of overcoming? I mean, what's pushing the camel, the lion, the child? What's pushing us toward the Superman? Well, for Nietzsche, it's the most fundamental force in the entire universe. And that force is the will to power. This idea is basically the beating heart of all of Nietzsche's philosophy. And again, we have to be careful here. This is not about wanting to dominate other people or some kind of petty political power. It's the fundamental drive in everything to expand, to grow, to reach its absolute highest potential. It's the artist trying to perfect their craft, the scientist pushing for a breakthrough, you trying to overcome your own limits. It's all about self-mastery. In the book, Zarathustra has life itself speak up and reveal this secret. Life says, "Behold, I am that which must ever surpass itself." Isn't that amazing? Life isn't just about staying alive. It's about constantly, endlessly overcoming what you are right now. This is that engine. This is the force pushing us across that tightrope toward the Superman. And that brings us to our final stop. This is the big one, Nietzsche's most profound, most challenging idea. He actually called it his abysmal thought, his thought from the abyss. It's a thought experiment, and it's designed to be the ultimate test of how much you truly love your life. So here it is, the eternal recurrence. Picture this. You're in your loneliest moment, and a demon appears and whispers this to you. This life, as you now live it and have lived it, you will have to live once more and innumerable times more. Every single joy, every single sorrow, every tiny mundane moment, it's all going to happen again, in the exact same order, forever. And there will be nothing new. Now, this isn't some physics theory about the universe. It's a question aimed directly at your soul. So, could you do it? Could you love your life exactly as it is enough to repeat it forever? Not just tolerate it, not just endure it, but actually want it? Could you look at everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, and say, yes, again, forever? Because to answer yes to that question, that is the ultimate affirmation of life. That's the highest expression of the will to power. It's about looking back at your past, at every single moment, and instead of saying, that's what happened to me, you say, that is what I willed. That's the perspective of the Superman, someone who doesn't just accept their life but loves it, who sees every single second as necessary and beautiful, and who wouldn't change a thing. Okay, so let's put all the pieces together. It all starts with the death of God, which creates this massive crisis of meaning. This opens the door for the last man, the danger of just comfortable nothingness. The path out is through the three metamorphoses: the camel, the lion, the child. The engine for that journey is the will to power. The goal? To become the Superman, who creates new, life-affirming values. And the final, ultimate test is being able to say yes to the eternal recurrence, to love your life enough to live it again forever. See how it all connects? And so we're going to leave you with that same greatest weight. But let's turn it into a call to action. Nietzsche's question, it's not really about some hypothetical eternity. It's about right now. It's about today. If you knew your life would repeat for eternity, what would you change today? Because if you want to be able to say yes to forever, you have to start by building a life that's worth loving, right here, right now. And that work, well, that work begins today.